Hey y'all, it's your girl Chastity J, and I'm back with a quick message from God. God has some encouragement for y'all, but I'm gonna share a quick testimony with y'all. A couple weeks ago, I was in Houston. I was too busy, didn't write this paper that I had to. I know, shame on me. But every day when I did come back from Houston, I kept trying to write the paper. Like it was due on a Sunday. I think I got back home from Houston maybe that Monday or Tuesday. Every day I kept trying to write the paper, kept trying to write it off and write it and kept putting it off. And eventually I was just like, oh, well, I'll just take the zero. Well, I went and looked at my online portal to see how many points the paper was worth, and it was worth 100. Y'all, I thought it was worth like 20 or 30. So I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and write this paper. But again, I hate writing papers, and it was so late. It's like a week had passed, and I'm like, I still haven't wrote the paper, haven't turned in the paper. And God just kept pushing me. He was like, write the paper. And I'm like, but God, I hate writing papers, and it's a lot. They asking for a lot, and I'm just exhausted. But God kept telling me to write the paper, and I was like, Jesus, you know how y'all be when y'all really don't want to do something. Okay, so that was me. So I was like, I really don't want to write this paper. But I ended up, over a course of like 3 days, wrote the paper, and y'all, turned in the paper. Before I turned it in, I prayed. Like I had been praying. I was like, God, I'm going to be obedient and go ahead and finish this paper up and get it turned in. And when I turned it in, it was like a week and a half late, y'all. So I was like, oh, Jesus. I'll be grateful if he give me just 5 points, 5 out of the 100. Like, I was praying. I was like, God, please allow him to at least give me, 50%. Give me a 50 out of 100, even though it's almost 2 weeks late. But my God is faithful. So I kept praying about it or whatever. And then I went on ahead and got the paper turned in. Y'all, guess what your girl got on the paper? I ended up getting a 90. I was only expecting to get maybe a 50 or less, whatever. But I ended up getting a 90 out of 100 on this paper. And like the feedback that my teacher left was, in the future, check your drafts, because I'm sure they could tell that I started drafts like when the papers actually due, but I never uploaded anything or submitted anything. So I think they were under the impression that maybe I never hit submit, whatever the case may be. But I got a 90 on this paper. He was like, good job, in the future, check the drafts. And they only took 10 points off, when really, they would take like 10% off per day. So I know at that point I should have probably got a 0. But y'all, God just wanted me to share that quick testimony with y'all of being obedient. I know I posted a video about me being disobedient, but when you actually are obedient and listen to God, God will bless you. He will exceed your expectations, because homeboy definitely exceeded my expectations, because I did not want to write that paper. I was like me and God really was like going at it back and forth, and he was like, this your grade, not mine. And I was like, I know, but Jesus, please, I'm tired. And he was like, you ain't too tired, go ahead and write that paper. And I was not going to turn in the paper. I had already made up in my mind, I'm just going to take this 0, take this L, and use it as a lesson learned. But at the beginning of the year, I prayed and, told God for the rest of I have 1 year left in school in this program. For the rest of this time, I would like to get A's only, nothing less than an A. And God reminded me about that. He was like, didn't you say you wanted to get A's only? So you need to at least put in an effort and finish this paper and get it turned in. Like, at least attempt to get some kind of points. So I was like, okay. So I went on ahead and turned it in. And like I said, y'all, got a 90. But God just wanted to give somebody some encouragement. If God has been pushing you to do something, if something has been on your heart to do something specifically, whether that's to move. I know there's been a lot of comments on my relocation video saying that God been pushing y'all for like a year. What are you waiting on, baby? Go ahead and be obedient. I promise y'all, my life Like, I didn't start living until I relocated. Like, God has been blessing me so much. And like I told y'all in that video, I was so afraid because financially, I'm like, God, who's going to pay these bills? I could barely sustain in Houston, let alone move somewhere where the cost of living is more. Like, what? But God has continued to blow my mind. Like, He has pretty much doubled my salary. Like, He has just been blessing me so much. So please just be obedient. This is for those that He's telling to move. For everyone else, if there's other situations, if God is telling you to leave a relationship, leave a job, leave a business, whatever the case may be, take it and apply it to your life specifically. But be obedient. Be obedient, y'all, because God exceeded my expectations. Like I said, I was expecting to only get a 50. But the Lord gave me a 90. He was like, I'll do even better than that because I was obedient. He kept, when I tell y'all every day, He was tugging on me. He was like, write that paper. And I'm like, but Jesus, no, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. But He kept telling me to write the paper, and I did, and my obedience was greatly rewarded. I have a A in this class, and I know I'm gonna get an A at the end of this semester for both of my classes I'm currently in. But y'all, if God is telling you to do something, please just be obedient, because in this hour, God is like, He's like, I'm gonna wow y'all. I'm gonna exceed your expectations. Things that you've been praying for, that you've been asking for, and you've been asking for the bare minimum. I'm about to give you way more than what you've asked for. So this is just some encouragement to somebody. Some encouragement. If you have been praying for something, please be obedient to God's instruction and direction, because God is going to exceed your expectations. He's going to give you way more than what you've asked for. So like me, if I would not have turned in that paper, even though it was a week and a half late, and I expected to get a 50, but I trusted God. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be obedient, and I prayed about it, and I surrendered it to Him, and I turned in that paper and got a 90. Like, God is just so strategic, and He's so clever. For them teachers, for my teacher or TAs, whoever, to even think that maybe I didn't hit submit, whatever the case may be, and still give me a 90 on an assignment that's almost 2 weeks late. You can't tell me that God cannot do, God can do the impossible. Like, you cannot tell me that God isn't amazing and that God isn't real, because everybody know I probably would have got a 0. Like, because it was too late. It was too late. Like, humanly impossible. But that God is just so amazing, y'all. Please. And we're all a work in progress, as I always tell y'all. Y'all know I be very transparent. I'm still working on my obedience, because sometimes the rebel in me is like, I'm not going to even ask God, because I already know God's answer is going to be no. I already know His answer is going to be no. And ultimately, if you have to ask, then 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. I'm sure those who grew up like me, your parents say, if you even gotta ask me, am I out of line or doing something I ain't got no business doing, then you already know. You don't even need to ask. If it comes up, a question in your mind, if there's a doubt, 9 times out of 10, you're doing something you ain't got no business doing, or the answer is no. Like, if you're afraid to even ask, sometimes the answer is going to be no. So, just do what you're supposed to. Be obedient. Trust God. I can't say this enough, and I know y'all probably tired of me saying it about being obedient and trusting God, but I'm going to continue saying it, because you need to be obedient. You need to trust God. God is just amazing, and He is just blessing us. Like, God is really blessing us for our obedience and faithfulness in this hour. And like me, you ain't gotta be perfect. Like, nobody's perfect. God already knows what you're gonna do. He already knows your flaws. He knows your past. He knows everything. And God does not choose the God does not choose the qualified. Thank you, Jesus. That was you speaking, and I'm over here look trying to take over. But God does not choose the qualified. He qualifies the called. Okay, so He is just telling y'all, be obedient, baby. Be obedient. Be obedient. Okay, be obedient. Just listen, do whatever it is He's telling you to do, and just follow through on your end. And continue trusting Him, continue praying. We all know work without faith is dead, so do your part. Like, I had to do the actual paper, write it, and because I tried to pay somebody, y'all, but that didn't work out. But we ain't gonna get into that. But do your part. Work without faith is dead. Do your part, and then pray about it and surrender it to God. But God wanted me to mention something else, but I'm like having a brain fart right now. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I might come back with a part 2 or another video. But yeah, y'all. God just wanted me to share my testimony about how I was trying to be hard-headed and I was being lazy and didn't write this paper, but ended up being obedient and wrote the paper. And guess what? Boom, He blessed me, gave me a 90, and I didn't even expect that. But God is saying in His hour, He's expect the unexpected blessings, because He's about to hand you some blessings that you definitely did not expect, things that you prayed for in the past, y'all. There you go. Come on, Lord, speak. Encouragement. Some encouragement for y'all. Some things that you've been praying for, or that you prayed for in the past and probably forgot that you was praying for. God is about to hand deliver them speedily. He is expediting them next day, same day shipping. He is about to deliver them, and He just wants y'all to be faithful. Get in a position to receive right now. Trust Him, because your blessing is literally on its way. Y'all know the song, God's Got a Blessing with your name on it? That's what He just started playing in my head. So He has so many blessings that He is dropping off to y'all. But y'all just got to trust Him. I know it may not seem like it. It may seem like situations are dead and that God didn't hear you, that maybe God ignored you. But I promise you He didn't. He's been working behind the scenes, y'all. And this is just some encouragement for y'all, because it's encouragement for myself. I'm human. I get weary. Sometimes I am double-minded, and I have to pray. I have to repent constantly and daily. But God just keeps reminding me and encouraging me that your blessings, the blessings that I have with your name on it, they are about to be delivered any moment. Any moment. Now, this video is getting a little long, but some of y'all may have been feeling just out the blue, like a little irritated, sad, down, whatever the case may be. And it may be because you're in a mourning period. Am I saying that correct? Mourning. Y'all know I'm country. So you're mourning a loss. Okay, y'all get it. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. And it may be from the last season, the last stage, just other things. And I'm gonna post another video kind of elaborating a little more. But I know at times, like, honestly I feel like I be mourning every week, because God has been elevating me so much and escalating my life that I'm like, Jesus, like, I keep on being like sad, and it's not sad. It's like I'm grieving like my past life. I'm grieving the things that I used to entertain, or things that no longer serve me. And God is like, yeah, because I'm elevating you. And God has been elevating me so fast. It's like we been on an elevator, like just going up. I'm like, every time I look up, Jesus, I am over here grieving the loss of things that I used to do, maybe things that I used to say, ways that I used to dress, people that I used to associate with, old friends, all kind of all kind of things, y'all. I stay grieving situations and life experiences and seasons of my life, because God's just taking me through. It's like we're in a like we done hopped on like a time machine or something, and we are just going in the future, like just going. So just trust him, y'all. If you have been dealing with grief, whether that's like losing someone physically, I am praying for you. Like, I am definitely praying for you, because that is something that is extremely hard and difficult. If you are grieving the loss of relationships, the loss of different seasons or parts of your life, parts of yourself, then I am praying for you as well. Like, grief is grief. So just get ready, trust God, continue praying, continue believing in him, because he is covering you, and he is dropping off blessings, and he just wants y'all to stay encouraged. Continue being faithful, continue just trusting in God. Trust God with everything, even when you can't see it. When you have nothing, that's when you need to be trusting God the most. When you have everything, that's when you need to be trusting God the most. Because sometimes once God give us those blessings, then I say it all the time, we do the Heisman on my boy, and it's like we don't know God no more. We be like, thank you, big Jesus, and then act like we don't know him. Trust me, I used to do it so much. So I'm only telling y'all what I know. But yeah, y'all, continue just being faithful, continue trusting God, and continue praising him throughout every season, your highs, your lows, everything. But special shout out to all of my supporters and subscribers. I truly appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to get back in a habit of being more active on here and being more obedient to God when it comes to this platform, because it is for God, it's not for chastity whatsoever. But I just want to say thank you to you guys. Make sure y'all take this message back to God and get confirmation. Be obedient, be prayerful, stay up, stay faithful, and just continue trusting God and walking in your purpose. Okay, y'all, have a great night.